Hi, I'm back again, and this time I have a short list of just 5 films that I think that you should see simply because they are that valuable. I've kind of saved them until the end, and I think that they'll kind of speak for themselves as we go. So let's get started. The first film is the 1970s film Steve Martin's The Jerk. Now I have this on VHS, but I think it's available on DVD pretty much anywhere. If you think that Steve Martin is just limited to family films like Bringing Down the House or um, was it Cheaper by the Dozen, whatever, uh, Father of the Bride, Parenthood, any of those, if you think that he's just limited to those, please watch this because this is his madcap comedy years. It's terribly funny. It features all kinds of zany, off the wall kind of humor that he was actually famous for back when he got started. He's kind of lost his way now from where he was. He's still a pretty good author and playwright, from what I understand. But I think that you should really run out and get a copy of this if you really want to see Steve Martin at his best back when he was really tops. Next, we have Luc Besson's The Professional, starring Jean Reno and a very, very young Natalie Portman, who, oddly enough, they decided she could play, a bit of a girl kind of discovering her sexuality. Personally, I think that's a little creepy because it's a little girl, but uh, she doesn't quite take it too far. The directors didn't take it too far. There's no nudity or any crap like that. It also stars Gary Oldman as the villain, and this is the same director as The Fifth Element. If you happen to really like that film, it features a lot of action, a wonderful story, a wonderful amount of emotion. It tells the story of a girl whose life is saved by an assassin for hire, who then decides to take her under his wing and protect her from a drug enforcement agent who's corrupt. And uh, they try and live a comfortable life together. And you'll just have to see how it ends. It's really emotional, really stirring. So run out and get a copy of this sometime. Next is a bit of a Rankin Bass classic. If you know me, you know I'm appreciative of camp as much, if not more, than the next person. And it is the Warner Brothers Family Entertainment version of The Hobbit. It features a little bit of information on the disc. It's nothing too special, um, but if you've got a family and you really want to watch a good movie with a lot of entertainment, a little bit of humor, and a whole lot of fantasy, this is a really good one. It features some wonderful voice acting by Sean Bean um, as Bilbo Baggins, and I think is about as good a prequel to The Lord of the Rings as you're going to get for right now until they release a version that they're doing with Peter Jackson and Ian Holm or whatever. Um, it's quite excellent, and I recommend you run out and get that. Next is a film that probably a lot of you have already seen. If you haven't already, run out and get a copy of Michael Moore's special edition Sicko. This is available anywhere. I was able to pick it up for $8. It's not a whole lot of money, and it really tells some wonderful, stirring, true stories all about just the human condition and the condition of healthcare in America. It's worth seeing at least once. If you think that Michael Moore's full of crap, watch it and just, listen to the stories that the people themselves tell. Because Michael doesn't really talk through it and say, oh, this is all Bush's fault. That's not really what he's going for. He's simply saying that things need to change. He doesn't say, you know, oh, he's, you know, when this movie came out, a lot of people were like, oh, Michael Moore's full of crap. Before the movie even came out, before I even got to see the preview at the theater, the sneak preview, there were reviews on Yahoo telling people, "Don't go see this. He's full of crap. He's just trying to blame Bush for everything. He's a liar. He's a fat ass. Whatever." Just go out and watch it and actually see it and see for yourself. If you don't have medical insurance, if you have medical insurance and have fought your share of battles, see this movie and maybe it'll get you thinking, okay, well, I'm really really glad that healthcare was an issue this election, and you'll start to understand a little bit more why it was such an issue. So, if you can check this out, do so. Next is a film that I picked up at Family Video for like not too much. It was in the bargain bin of used DVDs, and it's a foreign film released by, I believe it's Canal Plus and Sony Pictures Classics, and it is called Joyeux Noël, Merry Christmas, and it tells a story of three sides of the First World War, and it's based on true stories from the First World War about how the first Christmas that they celebrated, the soldiers actually came out of their trenches and celebrated Christmas in the middle of no man's land together. Um, then a lot of the officers were reprimanded and dishonorably discharged or simply removed and moved to different areas because they had associated with the enemy. They had collaborated with the enemy in a lot of views, and it really talks about the monstrousness of war. It doesn't really show anyone as being truly evil. It tells the story of French, German, and English officers. It has a wonderful cast of characters, many of whom you'll probably recognize from other roles. Um, it's basically just a wonderful movie if you want to watch it as a Christmas movie or as a movie to celebrate Veterans Day, Memorial Day, what have you. Check it out. It has some wonderful music and some wonderful lines. It also tends to point out that the real uh, antagonists in the German war machine were in fact the Prussians. Now this is actually quite true. Uh, if you know your First World War history, that the German Empire was itself created by the Prussians. Uh, if you know the German Emperor at the time, guess where he was from? He was from Prussia. So, uh, if you want to see an interesting historical drama, this is also excellent for that. It does feature the languages of pretty much all the characters. They speak the language for the most part, and there are subtitles for those that don't understand. There are subtitles in French and English for people who speak either. It's quite a lot of fun, despite its very serious, grave subject matter, and isn't too gory, so it's safe if you want to watch it with a younger audience. So that's it for now.